Hi, everyone. Well, here I am live, day 2. I'm alive. Still being followed and harassed, but I'm trying not to let it get to me. Today, I've been reading research, pages and pages and pages and pages. It's all too much for my head, and I'm not going to read anymore. I've started to write a letter to the government and to all councillors, mayors, upcoming councillors, whoever, and I've been writing all day about how Roundup, glyphosate, affects me as a person. In Western Australia, they believe that it's safe. They believe that this chemical that people have a profound reaction to, causing cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer of various forms, allergies, rashes, and the list goes on. I can't think of everything that it does cause. Gut issues, isn't responsible for anything. In fact, I think they've just done a study that glyphosate is showing up in people's hair, and more recently, people are having throat issues. Excuse me, because it's doing damage to our throat. The more they study this stuff, the more they're realising how foul it is. Yet still, Western Australia keep using it. It's been 20 years since I wrote my first letter. My first letter with research that I could find 20 years ago. It was quite difficult. I had to rely on the fact that I was feeling symptoms from being around it, therefore I knew it was toxic. So they established a no spray register, and they used to contact me and they used to advertise when they'd be spraying, and that was down in Denmark, down in Western Australia. They don't really do that here, and, you know, they're quite reluctant to call me and to speak to me. And even though I am on a no spray list, it doesn't stop them from spraying my front verge. They still come by every now and then and spray, or they'll spray right down the alleyway, which is only one house away. And they don't really protect you even though you've asked them not to. And with all the research now that they believe that all diseases begin in the gut, with, you know, doctors are only just coming on board with that and the research into probiotics, and they're now recommending that you take it. But this has been knowledge for 20, 30 years in people that are alternative. And now the research is there that Roundup affects your gut, and it affects the microbes in your gut, and it stops you from being able to process Roundup and pesticides. Your body physically cannot process chemicals, especially Roundup. In fact, researchers have said that pesticides are the #1 cause for your gut balance to be disrupted and developed the condition called multiple chemical sensitivity, which I have. So I've started this letter to council and everybody else. I've got so much research that children and pesticides don't mix. You know, if there's anybody that we should be rooting for, it's our kids. Our kids aren't little adults. Our kids don't have these enzymes that they can process pesticides, and it breaks my heart to know that that chemical, without a doubt, is causing a percentage. Now, I cannot tell you what that percentage would be of the health conditions that our children in Western Australia suffer, without a doubt. 100%. So our state just causes these health conditions, and it's big money, of course, for them to treat it. And, you know, doctors get paid, and I don't know where their thinking is to even want to use something that the World Health Organization has said it's probably cancerous and that it causes lymphoma, and look at all these other health effects that it causes. But we must have this magic gene that we don't get affected by it. However, I live here too. I am affected by it. I've got a video of me driving around because I can sense it, and I wanted to go and find it in Marawa, I don't know, last year or the year before. It constricts my throat. I go hoarse. I get very vague and brain fog. I can't think clearly, and quite often it'll send me to sleep depending on the dose that I've had, the dose of the poison. One particular thing that I talk about with the dosage of poisons that I do not understand about toxicology and the Department of Environment, or whatever it's called now, Department of Health, Department of Environment, the departments in Western Australia, they talk about how the dose makes the poison. So toxicology actually believe that every adult can tolerate the same amount of poison. They have these limits that they call, I don't know, is it the LD50? I don't know. But it's something. They're MSDS safety sheets. They believe that the dose makes the poison, and they believe that we can all tolerate the same amount. And they have these little safety sheets that say how much milligrams per litre you can actually tolerate of this substance. However, I believe, and a lot of other researchers believe, that the host makes the poison because we are all different. Therefore, if I have a drink of alcohol, I am drunk on one drink or maybe one and a half. I should not get in my car and drive, even though I am under 0.05. My body, the host, has made alcohol too toxic for me to function as a normal human being. My neighbour may be able to drink 5 drinks and be at the same level. We are different and we have different processing capabilities. I don't know what that is hard to understand. So there are famous researchers that have actually taken that knowledge and thought, yeah, let's look at the enzymes in people's body, particularly the liver, that processes toxins and alcohols and poisons and all of those things. And they've found out that we actually do have enzymes that process that, and it isn't developed in children. And for people who have my health condition, that enzyme is doesn't work properly, which is why we can't tolerate pesticides. And the one thing that this enzyme doesn't actually tolerate at all is pesticides. Without it, the research is right there. And children don't develop this enzyme until they're, they anywhere between 0 and 7. So they don't actually have protection from all those pesticides. So whilst toxicology says children are not little adults and we shouldn't really be exposing to them to the same amount as what adults are deemed level and safe, but we're going to get that LD50 or whatever it is and divide it by 40, 47, we don't really know, and we'll make that the level that children should be exposed to. However, that level should be 0 because those children don't have the ability to process it. People who are sensitive like me don't have the ability to process it. I don't know. It's like Russian roulette because we don't know who has the ability to process it and who doesn't have the ability to process it. There is so much research I've read in the last couple of days how much Roundup is changing our DNA. So with me being intolerant to it, my DNA now passes it down to the next generation, How are we going to stop this? This is actually legalised poisoning. I am not choosing to eat, drink, partake in having glyphosate They put it on our food. They put it everywhere in Western Australia, in our parks, our gardens, our schools, our public places, our buildings, everywhere that you can think of. And we have no choice. Yet, it's being banned all around the world. In fact, the latest one to ban it is Vietnam. Vietnam! There are hundreds of countries who have banned it. Well, as you can hear, I'm passionate about this. I'm going to finish this letter and I'm not sure that I'll read the letter, but I will definitely talk about it. So, who knows who's going to see this video, but the more the merrier. I need help. I live in Western Australia. We need voices. We need opinions. We need facts. We need figures. But if you want to help, let me know. It is a problem. They spray here in Western Australia at schools while our children are sitting in classrooms studying and working, and the contractors come around while they're sitting in that classroom, they spray, and then they walk out their classrooms. It is absolutely appalling. It gets me really emotional and I can't talk about it anymore. It's time to go because I don't understand how they can just have on the back of that label that you need to wear protective gear and gloves and all of this stuff because it is a commercial product. They're not just using household strength, right? They're using the commercial strength, which requires all these things, and they just allow the children to walk on it. They maintain that, oh, it's safe when it's dry, but I can smell it in the air. Therefore, it is still airborne. I can taste it. So if it's dry, okay, but I can still smell it and I can still taste it. Therefore, it is still there. It's preposterous. It is barbaric. It is insane, which is probably why the West Australian government called me insane, because it's their only defence. Well, my information is backed by science and yours isn't, so that's it. Till tomorrow, see you later. Bye.